You're listening to Living Podcariously, bringing you real men's perspectives, unfiltered, unapologetic, and uncensored. Recorded live in the Living Podcariously studio in world-famous Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Welcome to Living Podcariously. Once again, another exciting week. I am one of your hosts. My name is Tach, and across from me...
Hey guys, I am Adam.
And Adam, we have another... Well, not another guest, but it's not a guest.
Well, it is a new addition to the cast of Living Podcariously. So, Tech, we bounced back and forth some of the ideas of doing the auditions for the spot. I got a lot of great feedback from these girls.
Right.
Until I asked them to come over to my house. Then none of them wanted to show up. I don't know what that's all about.
Obviously, they're not dedicated.
Did you hear? Did you hear something about me? Maybe I got a bad reputation out there. I don't know.
Well, maybe.
No, but anyway, we are actually got some pretty good email on a couple of the episodes that this young lady guested on. Anyway. And I think as long as she'd like to be here with us, I think we'd be honored to have her on the show.
Indeed.
So I think we'd like to do a big warm welcome and introduction, insert applause here, for Miss Andrea Joy to the Living Podcariously cast.
Oh, yeah. Yay.
Well, what you listeners can't see is that they've got me tied down and strapped down in here, so I have no choice but to be here.
You asked us to do that, though, which was weird.
You're going to get the rubber hose again. You hush.
Okay.
No, I'm
going to keep talking then. Give it to me.
That's what I call my dick. Tack is my rubber hose.
So, Andrea Joy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Or the listeners, anyway. We know about you.
Oh, do you?
Inside.
I heard about
Does
you.
anyone really know about me?
Andrea Joy from the block. No.
My name is Andrea, and...
That's good. That's good. That's a good start. It's a good start for her.
That works out. Everything checks out.
My name is Andrea. I'm a stylist at Brent Allen Salon. I am a mother of a 10-year-old daughter, almost 11, preteen. Enjoy doing musical theater.
And you and Tack have something in common.
We are both redheads. Dare I say ginger?
No.
She's allowed to say it. Hold on.
It's our word. Yeah, only we can say it.
Can I say, like, hey, what's up, Ginge? Is that...
I am definitely not a carrot top because the top of a carrot is green. So I'm a carrot bottom.
Carrot ass.
Green bottom?
Carrot ass.
The bottom of a carrot is orange.
You did say just there, and I kind of interrupted you. My bad. You did say you did musical theater as well. Are we ever going to be able to hear maybe some...
That's also something else we share in common, too. I've done a lot of musical theater as well. So.
Oh, that's right. We've talked about that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to hear you sing, though, Tack. We want to hear her sing.
Well, maybe if you guys are really good
Can we get
boys.
a duet out of the two of you?
We'd have to plan something and practice.
Yes, we'll have to practice.
But I'm totally down for that.
A little show.
I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
It doesn't take much courage, Andrea. You've got your sippy cup with wine, so I think here...
Can you explain why she needs a sippy cup this week?
So in show prep, what happened? While we were sitting here eating pizza, prepping for the show?
I was serving the pizza and my wine glass just kind of fell over on its own.
Not the first time.
Second time in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
But the glass didn't break.
That's true. Neither time did
But now I have my sippy cup, so everything is good.
You know, the glass falling and that stuff not breaking, that wasn't the weird part. Her sitting on the floor licking up the wine from the ground, not to waste any, was kind of weird. and a little sexy, but...
It's a good wine. You can't waste it. That's alcohol abuse.
So, anyway, so you are a... What's the right word?
Thespian?
No.
Lesbian? Hairstylist.
Okay. So that brings us to a topic that I had written down.
I see your segue there.
Yeah. So.
Segu, John, that's for you.
Segu. So, okay. So, like, most guys, they'll find, like, a hairstylist and always stick with that person. Sometimes it's just a barber, whatever. I like to go to places, where you get the chick or whatever, and you go to that same one over and over.
Do you prefer chicks cutting your hair over guys?
I do, which brings me to this topic.
Boobs on shoulders? Did I steal the punchline? Sorry.
Well, no, it's not a punchline. It's like, it's kind of a sensual like experience.
Yeah, they're
like,
inside your personal bubble.
Yeah, they're very inside your bubble, and it's just something. And then they're going through your hair, and it's just like it's just nice. Sorry, I don't mean to creep you out from your customers or anything, but and it's just, and if you have a good stylist and she's cute or whatever, good personality, that just makes everything so much better. And which you probably already know all this. But I wanted to ask you, like, do you have the same experiences, Adam? Like,
so in my experience of getting haircuts, before I met Andrea, and there's a funny story on how I met Andrea. We can cover that if we want. But before I met Andrea, I had a girl cut my hair from the mall, one of those little mall hair cutting places.
right.
And I hit on her and picked her up and took her out on a couple of dates. So she was my stylist. Now, here's the problem. When I first met Andrea, I had just gotten my hair cut maybe a week prior.
Yeah.
Maybe a week and a half prior. And it was butchered. Now, I'm dumb enough not to be able to understand if it's butchered or not. I don't get it. I just fucking put some gel in and go. It's not really difficult to style my hair. Well, apparently this girl gave me like wings coming off the sides of my head.
Which everyone in the salon noticed.
As soon as I walked in, all of them were like, what the fuck happened to that guy's hair? That's my new boyfriend. Oh, girl, get him under the scissors now. So obviously, I didn't do something right with that prior girlfriend. But Andrea's got me high and tight now, so she's doing it right. But yes, I think so every guy wants that to be a more engaging situation. You're so close to the girl and, her boobs are right in my face. Of course you'd never do anything, but
no.
It's the proximity system that you've got going on. That beautiful girl's
if you're
right
like
there.
in a dedicated relationship, it's the other woman that you're going to be as close to physically in your life.
Are you saying
see regularly?
Going to your stylist is like cheating on your girl?
No, it's absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the other woman in your life that you see regularly that's that physically close to you.
I don't even
is
notice.
in your bubble as much as, your current, significant other.
Have you ever had any guys do anything weird at a salon when you've been cutting their hair?
Besides you?
Well, so I go to get my hair cut from Andrea, and I get boobs in my face. I get kissed while I'm on the chair, like leaning back to my hair washed.
I've been trying to get her to cut my hair, but she just won't.
I schedule those private haircuts.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, at her fucking spa, they've got this massage table in the back. I might have already said this on another episode. They get a massage table in the back of the spa that is also like a shower table.
The Venetian room.
Holy crap, man.
That's for body scrubs and body wraps.
I just want to go in there and be scrubbed.
Happy endings.
Yeah.
You get your entire body exfoliated.
Is it a happy ending kind of spa?
No. Well, everyone leaves happy.
That's good enough for me.
Oh, that's precious.
But really, when you're cutting hair, you don't really notice where you're paying attention to the head and the shape and the art.
Right.
And so if some guy is getting turned on by it, I'm not paying attention.
And that's totally cool that you don't have to be engaged.
I mean, if my boob
involved.
brushes their shoulder, excuse me, sorry.
No, you don't have to be involved. It's just simply just like it's a personal guy thing that they'll enjoy. Just to themselves. You don't have to be involved at all.
Now, we enjoy the handsome guys that come in. We'll have someone be like, oh, so-and-so is coming today. And we get some good eye candy.
I will tell you one thing, even if it's not a sexual attraction thing, for a guy that's comfortable with this, obviously some guys have issues with people touching their head, the head up here. If you get a guy to come in, the most attention you can give a guy to make him happy, I don't care if you butcher his hair, if you give him a good head shampoo, good head scrubbing.
Oh, we all give good head at the salon.
I see what you did there.
I always get my hair washed too.
Yeah. I don't care if it costs me $1,000. I'm getting that shampoo done.
It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You always get good head.
Yeah. All right. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, no. Anyway, thank you for coming on the show. Now, I did want to say how I met her, by the way, Tach.
Yeah.
So I think I might have said this too. If I did, sorry, listeners.
You mentioned it. Well, I know the story, but
I have dated lots and lots of girls from Tinder, and that sounds like a whore, but I've dated a lot of girls from Tinder, from all these dating apps, from going out to bars and picking them up, from picking them up at wherever.
Right.
My mother introduced us.
It was from me giving her a good shampoo.
That's just gross. I'm just
said shampoo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my mom said you need to go meet this girl. She's a sweetheart. You give her a call, find her on Facebook, do whatever you got to do. So I sent her a message on Facebook. She ignored me for a week. On Facebook, it says seen. So it showed me the date of seen. And a week goes by. I'm like, well, fuck.
Women
I guess
do be doing that.
Yeah. I guess I got no shot here. So I sent her another follow-up message. I'll say, hey, look, sorry to bother you. Please take care of my mother. Have a great life or whatever. I don't remember what I said. And then immediately she fired back a response. Hey, how are you? I'm like, what the fuck? And then the rest is history, Tach.
And now do your mom and you and your dad.
We're keeping it in the family.
If you can only do your co-host, we'd be all set.
I would if you hadn't shaved your head.
Well, I need a haircut now, I think.
Yeah, just go up there for any excuse. Yeah, just.
But you said I could come here and still pay you.
You can.
Actually, every week.
We should go up. You and I should go up
up.
Saturday while she's working up to the
I'll
salon.
be at work.
All right, when you just get, well, so much for that shit. Oh, well.
Yeah.
So something else has just happened with Andrea here recently, Tach.
What's
She
that?
just got back from a cruise.
Oh,
Last week during
that's
recording,
right.
it was just me and you.
Yeah.
Andrea was gone.
Yeah.
So tell us about your cruise. First, you went out of Port Canaveral. Give them a little bit of a plug in this. Carnival out of Port Canaveral, heading down to Freeport or Grand Bahama or
Went to
Nassau.
Nassau and then Freeport.
Nice.
Which was awesome, but
Did
I
you
am
do any
strictly
excursions?
not supposed to speak about anything that happened on it. Before we had our first drink, it was what happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
That means it was
No,
a
that
good
means
cruise.
it's really good.
Yeah, she knows I wouldn't. I don't have jealousy issues. I'm not worried about it.
Did you do any excursions?
Only on some dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Does the shower I had with 2 coworkers count?
Yes, that's awesome. Here's the-
We were saving time. I mean, it was just me and a guy and a girl. It was no big deal.
That's not my loofah.
It's not a loofah.
It's not a loofah.
at all. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest excursion. Nope, there was a lot of
Wait,
shopping.
is this a true story? Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, is this with?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So for
I don't know how you wanted to say
we
it.
won't elaborate on that.
Okay.
We don't want to upset the friends.
But there was
What?
no cheating going on or anything. It was all
no,
strictly
we were taking a shower.
platonic.
You can't. It's not cheating when you're on a cruise. It's a different zip code.
Is there a zip code when you're in international water?
Exactly. It doesn't count.
Hey, you want to go on a cruise?
As long
Bring
as I don't
your
have to
sisters.
sleep in the bunk bed again.
No.
Ugh, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, cute. I get the bunk bed. And then I get up there and I'm like, this is like being in prison or something. You're in this
How
like
do you know
teeny-tiny
what prison?
TV shows.
Oh, okay.
Orange is the New Black.
Something you haven't told me yet? All
Yeah.
right.
No, I would never go to prison. I look horrible in orange.
Gingers. Oh, can I not say that?
You may have a special
You're going to get
pass.
tied up later.
You guys did
jeez.
look, by both of you. Hang on now. This has just turned into a kinky night. You guys did have a lot of good pictures from the cruise. So on your Facebook page, I saw some of those. Maybe we can throw one of those up on the Living Podcariously site. We got to change out the website because it has one of our old hosts on there. And we need to upload some pictures of you on our Facebook page as well. So our listeners can see what you look like.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So
Of course, we just did a promo video on Facebook, so.
yeah, that's true. I really kind of
But
like
I didn't
Facebook
get
Live.
to wear the evening gown.
Yeah, from now on, evening gowns, low cut shirts, mini skirts.
Evening. what are you
It's
talking
going to
about?
be really
No.
hard when I'm tied up in all these restraints, though.
No, yoga pants, tank top. That's what I'm thinking.
White yoga pants, though.
I don't care.
Well,
Whatever
white's
you tell us.
important. Black, you can't see the camel. White, you can, or multicolored or whatever, you can see the camel.
I'm going to get a
She
little
looked.
stuffed
She looked.
camel. I'm going to totally get a little stuffed camel, and I'm just going to carry it around
You know
in my
what?
lap.
That's your viral video. A camel in her lap.
Just have
Would
to
you
do
like
the
to pet my
toe.
camel?
Done.
Camel toe. Anyway, we'll
All right,
brainstorm. We'll
Figure that out.
brainstorm.
A stuffed camel toe?
Did you guys do any excursions or no?
Does walking like miles on the beach count?
If you were hand in hand with some handsome
Well,
dude.
we went to in Freeport. We went to one of our boss's friend's house. He has a mansion in Freeport, and it's on a private beach. And we were going to walk up the beach to go to a restaurant. We walk like a mile up the beach. The place is closed, so then we have to turn around, walk back to his house, and a mile the other way to get to a restaurant.
So let me get this straight.
After drinking for like 3 days.
This guy friend of your boss's is walking up the beach with all of you ladies from the spa, from the salon, going to his private mansion on the beach.
No, he
This
had
guy-
his driver pick us up.
This guy is his real name is Jay-Z. I don't know if you knew that or not. No, just kidding.
No, it was Flo Rida from
Flo
Cancun.
Rida.
We met him in Cancun.
How about a little VIC, little Vic, a wobble wobble. Tack, our numbers, by the way, this week from this last episode that we had with Connor Hughes in studio and Kim Kennedy also. Both of them promoted the shit out of the show, which was awesome.
Nice.
Our numbers fucking tripled. It was our most downloaded week in the history of this iteration or any of the other iterations of this show. So it was great. But I think it had something to do with something that launched this week. I got an email, I don't know, maybe 9 days ago, something like that, from Google. It was Google Play Music podcasts have now officially launched. So just like on Apple, for Apple products, you've got the iTunes podcast app.
Right.
That's what everybody uses. You don't download an app on your Apple device to play podcasts. You already have it natively built in.
Right.
For Android devices, the Google Play Store is the native Apple store for all Google devices.
Yeah. For iPhone, we have the App Store.
Yeah.
And the podcast is separate. But yeah.
That's the sort of the same thing for Google or Android. You've got the Google Play Store and then the Google Music button side by side. Usually, you click Google Play. You click the Google Music button, and then one of the drop downs for that is podcasts. So now Google hosts podcasts just like iTunes hosts podcasts. So
I thought I had downloaded that today, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. But I'm not sure if I get the logo right. Is this the correct logo?
I don't see. Hang on. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, because I tried pulling it up, and then there wasn't any podcasts. Well, maybe there was. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still kind of sketchy because they just launched and they're flooded with requests. But it's important because it's on every Android device out there. So now we can tell Android users, click your Google Play, do a search. There we are. So
it's about time they caught up with Apple.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. But our numbers exploded. I think partially because of that, but also partially because we had Connor Hughes and Kim in here. They're good promoters for stuff like that. All right, Tack.
Yes, sir.
I waited. I don't think I asked you this last week. I waited a week and gave you a week off, but you were supposed to have gone on some date with a girl. You were starting Tinder again. We hadn't really talked about that. Tell us a little bit about your love life and your dating life, because I want to know.
I'm not doing anything, man.
Is this where I insert crickets?
Yeah. I had nothing going on. Although recently,
you went to a salon and got boobs rubbed on your shoulder.
Got boobs rubbed on my no. I started talking with this chick. Okay, that I actually met on. I hate to really say it, but it's kind of embarrassing. But it's an actual thing.
Christian Mingle?
No. It's on Facebook. It's
over 55 dating?
Over 55 dating. No. It's a group on Facebook. It's a dating group.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
But more specifically, it's a Star Wars
fan. Yes.
Yes.
May the force be with you.
I don't judge. That's awesome.
But
I will make jokes about it because there's so much material there. Did she show up in a little Ewok outfit? I mean, there's questions. No. There's jokes to be made.
Well, first of all,
don't get me wrong. I'm a Star Wars fan and a Star Trek fan. I'm a sci-fi geek out the wazoo. That's not the point. That's just ironic to combine those two things in a Facebook dating group. Continue. Right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No laughing.
So the administrator decided to post. She did a post and it said she went through and put every single state in a thread, and if you lived in that state, you click on it, and then you go kind of what area in the state you live in, and then age or whatever, And so I went down to Florida, and I see that there was another girl that put Florida, and she didn't say what, or you're supposed to put what city or whatever,
Gotcha.
She didn't put the city, but she did put Space Coast 321. I was like, oh shit, hell yeah. I'm like, me too. What's up?
Hey, Tack.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I was like, that's cool. So I was like, hey, yeah, I'm living Space Coast too. Hey, so we started talking in the thread, And then so finally I was like, well, instant messenger. I was like, hey, and so she was like, hey, so we talked for a little bit. And so, okay, now I have to go back to a story from a while back with a totally different girl a few years ago.
Okay.
Okay, so
time warped us there.
Yeah. I'm doing a Quentin Tarantino thing.
Yeah, you are.
So, Okay, several years ago, I met this chick through a mutual friend, and we exchanged numbers, and we started texting. So in the first, I don't know, hour or so of texting, it's getting to know you kind of conversation, right?
Getting to know you.
Getting
to know all about you.
See, we should have a quartet. Go ahead.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so.
What do you call a 3-person band?
What, a trio?
A trio? Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Anyway, so I was talking with this girl. Within the first hour, just getting to know you kind of conversation. And then, like, so we started talking about kids. Okay. I may have told this story. I don't think
so.
So, I said, so how many kids do you have? And she goes, I have 5.
I think you did tell this story.
She goes, I have 5, except one of them's black, so he doesn't count. So, like 4. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, and I had a roommate at the time, and I was like, what the fuck did this chick just say? And my roommate at the time, she's like, what? I was like, so I read it to her, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like,
yeah. And
I'm waiting for the, just kidding, haha. I get nothing. I'm like, and so I text back like, what? You know, like, maybe I just read it wrong, you know? And then she's like,
you were hoping for the damn autocorrect?
Yeah, something. And then she was just like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? This chick is racist as hell. And I'm like, what do you mean like he doesn't count? Like, that's terrible. What are you talking about? And then she's like, he doesn't count. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then finally she's like, I'm just kidding, you know, like,
damn, she strung you along.
I have 2 kids. Yeah, she kept that joke going, which was amazing.
That's pretty good.
And then right there, I was like, that's fucking, this chick rocks. Like, she's fucking bad. Like, I'm terrible with jokes like that. I'm immediately like, just kidding, huh?
Yeah.
You know, but she let that shit simmer, and that thing was awesome.
You know what that was? That was a racist test for you. That's what she was doing.
It was fucking funny.
She was waiting to see if you were going to go, goddamn right, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, right. So this chick, we started talking. She goes, how many kids do you have? I'm like, oh, dang, idea. It was fucking great. You know, so I was like, I'm going to do the same thing now.
So wait, we're back to the future.
Back to the girl like this the other day.
Okay.
So she goes, how many kids do you have? And I was like,
gotcha.
I'm so doing this, you know, because I talked about how like sense of humor is important. She's like, totally. And this intelligent, totally. She's like, yeah. How many kids do you have? I'm like, psh. So I put 5 that I'm allowed to be around. 7 total.
Oh.
But one of them's black and it doesn't count. And so
you took the joke up a notch.
Yeah. So I let that simmer for a second. I so badly wanted to go, just kidding. But I'm going to do like she did. I'm going to let it simmer and just wait. And then she didn't see it for a minute or so. I'm like, come on, read it. So I see red. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm like all excited. And then she sends a question mark. I'm like, okay, I gotcha.
It's time.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just kidding. Like, could you imagine? Oh my God. You know, I was like, I'm totally not racist, not even a little bit. I'm just a joke. And then I told her about my real kids.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, okay. And I was like,
oh, that's the response she sent you in text?
Yeah. And then I was like, not funny? And she was like, no, not at all.
Oh, she doesn't.
And I was like, well, all right. And that's the last thing I sent to her.
Oh.
Haven't talked to her since.
Oh, that
She
sucks.
obviously has no sense of humor, so I'm not wasting my time.
Oh, man. Damn. You used the joke that worked on you. I was hoping it was going to complete 180 on you and it was going to be the same girl. She's like, I tell that joke.
No, it wasn't the same girl.
So Star Wars girls don't like racist jokes. Okay.
Or have no senses of humor.
It's just no sense of humor. It's bullshit. You know, I was like... And then, like, because we had talked a little bit about, you know, like, kind of what we did and stuff, you know, I was like, well, yeah, I do this. And she's, like, huge into reading and books and stuff like that. I was like, oh, well, you know, you ever listen to podcasts? She's like, no. I'm like, and she, like, everything was like, no.
It was short answers after that?
I just read.
That's like the song.
I was like, well, you should listen to podcasts.
My name is, no. My sign is, no. Yeah, I'm not a good singer.
I was like, you should listen to podcasts. And she's like,
no.
Well, any free chance I get, I just read. I'm like, all right, never mind.
Well, she sounds like a lot of fun.
I like reading too, but
you know what though?
While I listen to podcasts,
that kind of girl Tach is she's kind of sounds like she's kind of a prude. She's kind of a put off.
Yeah.
But then when you get her in the bed, she breaks out lightsabers and sticks them up your ass. So that's the kind of girl that maybe she's good for something.
Which one's better than the other? I don't know.
The ass? Wait, what?
What?
No, I'm just
I meant sense of humor or lightsaber with the ass. I don't
know. Yeah, they're pretty close. 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Whatever.
6 inches of one. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll come back and get some very, very interesting stories. Tach, I'm going to leave you with this little tidbit.
Okay.
What does the word toxic tush mean to you?
Oh my god.
Yes. All right, that's enough. All right, we'll be right back.
Did you just wink at him?
Yes, I did. Check out our new sponsor, Last Drop Vape. They make a premium e-liquid line that is simply fantastic. I vape a lot and use Last Drop Vape's blueberry and strawberry cream. They also have a chocolate that is spot on.
All of Last Drop Vape's premium e-liquids are proudly made in the USA. Their e-juice is bottled in a clean, certified, laboratory-used and 100% FDA-compliant machinery, meeting AEMSA standards and future FDA regulations.
Visit them at lastdropvape.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/lastdropvape.
If you are interested in becoming a distributor, you can contact them at their website under the wholesaler section.
All right, Tach, so I've got some more breaking news for you here.
Yeah.
And this is a special little segment for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy called in once before and gave us a really good... Jimmy from Taint Funny podcast, that is. He gave us a good update last time on some MMA news and some of the stuff that he'd been doing. Usually we don't talk specifically about sports or MMA or any of that stuff on Living Podcariously unless we've got some sort of special guest or something that has come up. Well, this is pretty damn important to me anyway, because I was a big fan of this guy. So first off, on the phone with us right now is Jimmy Klein from Taint Funny. Jimmy, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good, man.
Good.
Tach and I are here. Andrea's taking a break. I don't know if you heard the episode where we've got Andrea in here. Was she here? She wasn't here during Jimmy's.
Yeah, I saw the live video on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to have you in on this segment, Jimmy, because this is some pretty important news, assuming it's real, regarding one of the biggest stars in MMA right now. Do you want to break it? Because you are the MMA guy. Do you want to break this at least to our audience and listeners?
Yeah. What they're reporting right now is that Conor McGregor has been pulled from UFC 200.
Pulled now?
Like that's the latest news.
Being pulled from that, or
started tonight was there's a couple of different claims going around. The first claim that they were claiming earlier in the evening is that there was a fighter named João Calvello. He's a Brazilian fighter that was fighting in Ireland last week that TKO'd, ended up having to get emergency brain surgery, and passed away 48 hours later.
Holy shit.
Apparently, Conor McGregor was sitting in the front row when this happened. And so the first speculation was that he was kind of traumatized by everything that happened. And the next thing people knew, Conor McGregor was tweeting out that he was retiring from MMA.
Yeah, so I've got his tweet right here. It's at the Notorious MMA is his handle. But he says, quote, "I have decided to retire young. Thanks for the cheese. Catch us later." So that's his quote, or that's his Twitter tweet that went out and sent the MMA world a Twitter, literally.
Right. And that's apparently, the early speculation was that had something to do with the Brazilian fighter that passed away in Ireland, because he was in the front row. He met with the guy beforehand, shook his hand, that kind of thing. But now what's kind of coming to light is that apparently Conor McGregor was asking for $10 million for UFC 200 to fight Nate Diaz.
So you think it might be a money issue? See, that's what I originally thought. I didn't even hear the story about this fighter that got killed in front of him or later died due to injuries sustained in the fight. I'd never heard that.
Well, if you look at the video of it, it really doesn't look that bad. It's a typical TKO. The guy was never knocked out. they would have, an American athletic commission would have deemed it a concussive event, but it wasn't anything really bad. He was still kind of staggering to his feet. He was under his own power. They haven't really gone into details as to why he had to go into emergency brain surgery, but apparently it was complications from the surgery that he died from.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, any of those boxers or fighters, if you get hit wrong, or if you already have something that maybe is not diagnosable early enough, you just take one good hit to the wrong spot in the temple or whatever, that could jar something loose, a blood clot or something. And, I mean, you're taking your life in your hands when you're fighting. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Well, plus, not to mention that this was an Irish sporting event. In Ireland, that I know of, they don't have the same kind of athletic commission that the United States does. And so, it's speculation, but I doubt they have the kind of infrastructure we do as far as getting checked out before fights and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I know.
That could have come into play as well.
I know what Ireland has as far as the requirements to be a fighter. It's the same as the requirements to drink alcohol. If you can see over the bar, then you're good.
That's true. It probably takes place in a lot of bars, too.
Yeah.
The next speculation about this whole thing that came out was that McGregor was asking $10 million for the fight. Dana White said no. So, in kind of a strong-arming move, McGregor tweeted out the tweet that you had quoted. The next thing we know, Dana White is issuing a press conference saying that McGregor has been pulled from UFC 200.
Yeah,
And so the next speculation is that it's a money issue. Conor McGregor wanted $10 million. UFC said no. Conor McGregor bluffed, and basically Dana White called his bluff.
Huh. Interesting. Who did it first? McGregor?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm on the side of McGregor. You know what? Dana White is not necessarily, based on what you were telling me, not necessarily raping the guys, but he is completely raping is the wrong choice of words when I'm talking about women.
He is, yeah.
But he's raking them over the coals when it comes to paying them sufficiently. So, you know what?
Right.
I'm kind of glad McGregor pulled out, to be honest. It's,
That's what your dad said.
You motherfucker.
Sorry.
He's the star. He's got the talent. So I think he should get paid, and he should get paid fairly for doing what he can do.
I agree.
Interesting. All right.
What's interesting about all this, and this is strictly speculation on my part, is if you follow MMA and MMA news, that kind of thing, if you watched the Conor McGregor-Diaz fight, an interesting presence there was George St. Pierre. He was in the audience watching, which was kind of strange because he doesn't really go to it. Last night on Ariel Helwani's podcast, the MMA Hour, GSP was on there, and he said that he wouldn't mind coming back eventually, but it has to be under the right conditions. It's got to be kind of a spectacular entrance. It's got to be against the right opponent, blah, blah, blah.
Under the right conditions. Would that be 10 million of the right conditions?
Well, he has a beef already with Nate Diaz's brother. So that's the first thing. It's the right weight division because it's 170. It's UFC 200. He fought in UFC 100. He was one of the main events in UFC 100. So how awesome would it be if he came back and it was the main event in UFC 200? It's the 23rd anniversary of the very first UFC. And to top it off, what was the thing I was going to say? There was another point. To top it off, it would be in Madison Square Garden, the first UFC ever in New York City.
Is there any chance that this is just one great big ruse designed by Dana White to draw controversy up?
I'm wondering that, yeah, because GSP had already said that he wouldn't come back unless it was the right circumstances. He wants a lot of publicity around and everything, and what better publicity than this?
Dude,
he had already said that he was impressed by Diaz.
That's almost like what's the wrestler, the guy in charge of the WWE?
McMahon.
That's almost like Vince McMahon level creativity. I mean, that's some dramatic shit. If that's the case, I'll pull back off of Dana White's case a little bit and give him some credit where that's due. But I don't know. That's a lot that would have to happen for me to back off of Dana White. Huh, interesting.
Well, I mean, it would be enough. In my opinion, it would be enough for him to come back to UFC 200, let alone the first fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I would love to see George St. Pierre get back in the ring. That would be so much fun for me because I was a big fan of him when he was, just because of the way he carried himself. I was very impressed.
Yeah, and apparently he's been training at TriStar with Stage Northcutt.
Huh.
So hopefully he'll come back with some new moves and stuff too.
Well, all right. So hey, do you have any other news about maybe your upcoming podcast for MMA stuff, or?
Not yet. We're still in the preliminary stuff, but I'm assuming you heard about Daniel Cormier getting injured, right?
No. The only news that I've had about MMA since last we talked was this one.
I'm sorry?
The only news about MMA that I have done any research on was just this. I dropped it completely since last we talked. Unfortunately, I would like to have researched more, but it just didn't. I haven't had time to do it.
Well, the only other thing that's been happening, two other things. One is Daniel Cormier was supposed to fight John Jones in UFC 197 coming up this weekend.
Gotcha.
Last week they announced that Daniel Cormier had injured his knee, so he's out of the fight. So they brought in Vince St. Preux. He's kind of a little-known guy. A lot of people don't know him, have never heard of his name, but he's 19-7, 9 knockouts, 5 submissions. So, I mean, he's a pretty good guy, but I don't think he's going to be any match against John Jones. So a lot of people are disappointed at that, but at least they get to see John Jones fight again, I guess.
Yeah, but
the only other news going on is BJ Penn is coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to fight Dennis Seaver in UFC 199.
Well, that's cool that they're bringing back some of the older names. You know, back to George St. Pierre. The only question I have about that, so he fought, like you said, in 100. How many years ago was that fight?
Well, his last fight was in, I want to say UFC 164.
Oh, that's more recent.
Okay. He fought against, I can't remember the guy's name. The guy with the beard. Can't remember the guy's name, though.
That doesn't
It was
narrow
a
down.
controversial decision victory on George St. Pierre's part. A lot of people think he should have lost.
My only question is going up against one of the Diaz boys. If he's older and has lost that little bit of step, then it's going to be just it's going to be an atrocity in there. I respect what GSP has done, but if he's got that age on him and those fights under his belt, he's just going to have one more step behind them. Yeah. How about this? I mean, how about Dana White is designing a MMA tag team event? You're going to have GSP and Conor in one corner, or McGregor in one corner, and the other you're going to have the Diaz. Oh, this is a fucking travesty. I already see it.
You know what's funny? You joke around about that, but what's funny is the organization that Fedor Emelianenko fights out of. I can't remember what organization it is. It's not Bellator. It's someplace out of Japan. They organized a grappling match that was tag team.
No shit.
Yeah.
I see the writings on the walls. The MMA that you and I knew and loved is going by the wayside. It's going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was one of the ones disappointed when they departmentalized it into weight division. I didn't like that. I thought it should have been kept open, but the athletic commission wouldn't let that happen.
I still absolutely love seeing the fight between Bob Sapp and one of those little Asian dudes over in Japan. That is still the funniest fight. Tach, do you know who Bob Sapp is?
No, I have no idea who Bob Sapp is.
Do yourself a favor and Google search Bob Sapp. Not right now, but whenever you get home.
He was in
big dude.
That Adam Sandler movie where they start the football team in prison.
Oh, okay. Untouchables? No.
No,
there's a remake.
There's a remake from Burt Reynolds.
Replacements?
He
No.
was a really big muscular guy that was really sensitive.
Yeah, he was the giant dude.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah,
6'8" and like 350 and just a fucking brick shit house. Big dude. Anyway, look him up. He used to be a real MMA fighter, and you could go online and watch his fights. You can go YouTube Bob Sapp fights and see it. It's nuts.
That's cool.
Well, cool. Yeah, man. If you've got any updates for your podcast, bring them out. Let us help you. Yeah, man. Hey, when are we going to get you back in studio again to do another episode of Living Podcariously?
Whenever.
All right.
You going to bring the wife?
I can, yeah. I want to bring her in for Taint Funny. It's funny, and to all the listeners, my wife, we put out, I think we're at, episode 47, I think, right?
Something, 46? Yeah, something along those 40-something, yeah.
She has yet to listen to any of them.
That's crazy.
So I'm trying to get her into that as well. I'm trying to get her into Taint Funny as well.
Well, the listeners of Living Podcariously have heard enough times from us that if you like this kind of format, you would like Taint Funny as well. So I think we've got some cross listeners for both podcasts, at least.
Well, what's funny is I think Tach will agree with this. I think Megan would be more likely to do Living Podcariously than Taint Funny.
I think so.
We have a girl in here now with us, so she's Andrea's taken the role on as the ensemble female for the cast in here. So we have another girl to relate to at least.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That way she won't feel so lonely.
Exactly. We would sexually harass her just as much as we would harass anybody else, though, so it'd be all right.
That's cool.
Well, cool. All right, Jimmy, thanks for calling in, dude. We greatly appreciate it, and you're no stranger to this show or this studio, so stop by whenever you want.
Right on. Also, if it turns out that we're right about GSP, you heard it here first.
Damn right. Damn Skippy.
Yep.
Tag team. All right, brother. Have a great night. Thanks for calling.
Oh, definitely. See ya.
All right, dude. Bye.
Bye.
All right, cool. So that was our MMA update from Jimmy Klein with Taint Funny Podcast, and he'll be producing his own podcast here. I don't know, maybe in the next 2-3 months. So we'll give him all the support that we possibly can. And welcome back to Living Podcariously, episode number 11.
Yeah.
With special guest Andrea Joy. No, not special guest, with new cast member Andrea Joy.
I'm still special, though.
Special.
My mama says I'm special.
All right, Tach, I left you into the last break with a toxic tush clue. What do you think that means?
That means something about sharding?
Swamp ass? No.
Swamp ass?
No. It's not a bad guess. But no, this is, let's narrow it down. There's 2 places in the U.S. that this story comes from that this is very popular to do. That is Miami and New York City.
Okay, is this some sort of implants or something?
Bingo. Augmentations.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Oh, yeah. Your first solo on Living Podcariously is Sir Mix-a-Lot. Really? That's where you're going to go? You have such a beautiful voice. I thought you said you didn't like rapping. Oh, busted. All right. Speaking of busted, illegal butt injection procedures involving liquids like oily, listen to this, it's nasty, an oily yellow substance, silicone, which silicone is normal.
Okay.
Mineral oil. All right. Mineral oil is toxic to the body. And here is the most outrageous one. Now, this story kind of goes back to 2011, so this is nothing new, but it's new for the prosecution for this woman. She used to give these women these augmentations and big asses Fix-a-Flat in their ass. That expanding shit that goes inside a tire.
Right.
She used that as an injectable material. Now, I say she. There's a doctor out of Miami that has been arrested and accused of, at the worst case, manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, because a woman died from complications with some of this stuff.
Right.
But yeah, Fix-a-Flat's about $1.68 at the grocery store, according to one of the receipts that they have as a piece of evidence.
How does this work? I mean, like, if she's like sitting there walking around, like, okay, flat ass, how could we fix that? Let's see. And then she just like, boom, like an epiphany.
Well,
fix it flat. That's what we do.
To get back to the source on this, apparently it's one of the biggest fads lately in urban communities. All right. And this is all ranges of race and genre of people.
What's an urban friend? Sorry.
urban communities. It doesn't specify a race. It's just that whatever.
I got you.
I'm stepping on my dick at this point. The large ass, and I'm not just talking big bubble butt tech. I'm talking like you could literally put a book on top of the back of this ass and it would not slide off. It's a huge, like way disproportionate ass.
Yeah.
Like Dolly Parton's boobs back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
It was disproportionate. Same thing, but this is on the ass. So for whatever reason, that's become popular in Miami and New York and a couple of Latin American countries. But to get that big ass, it's like $6,000, $7,000 for real plastic surgery. What this doctor was doing is doing these implants with this Home Depot based materials.
$1.68.
With these materials you can get at a grocery store.
Well, what if they had AAA?
Ooh.
Well, you can call to get a toe. I don't.
You might need one
camel
after
toe?
that.
A camel toe.
Camel toe?
But there is a benefit. There is a benefit
funnier
to this.
than you acted, but go ahead.
There's a benefit. The recovery time when you use Fix-a-Flat to go inside the ass, to inject in the ass to make it big, is almost a day. Where surgery takes weeks and weeks and weeks of recovery before you can be functional.
Well, there's your
Until it
There's your
starts
selling point
hardening.
right there.
Well, the problem with it is that stuff is toxic. Some of the pictures that were on here, and I'm not going to put them up anywhere, shows women's asses that had this done, and some transsexual men that were identified as women that got the same procedure done, literally necrotizing their ass off of their body. Their ass would literally die and fall off of them. So these pictures are fucking atrocious. But that's popular? Don't get me wrong. I like a big ass. Don't get me wrong. But to an extent.
That's, if
it's so big that I can't fuck doggy style, if I don't reach, you know what I mean?
You can also get a big ass by just eating donuts.
Yeah, but other things get big then too. This is that ridiculously obscure proportions.
Yeah, that does nothing for me.
Like little bitty, tiny waist, 22-inch waist, and this big, giant fat ass.
So if you want to look good in your coffin, $1.68.
Her coffin's going to look like a bowling pin.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So according to the Associated Press...
Breasts?
According to the Associated Press, deaths from illegal butt injections have also been reported in Alabama, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, as well as Florida and New York, which were the originators.
They'll never learn.
All right, so Tach, what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is 420.
Say it. Go ahead. Andrea's lip syncing.
Tomorrow, yes. I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away.
Every Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Every Thursday. Let's put those dollars on the floor and the fives in the thighs. Be sure to tip your waitresses, boys. Up next is Cinnamon.
Riddle in the middle and whatever else you said earlier.
Ritalin? What?
Ritalin? Give me some Ritalin. Yes, tomorrow is 420, April 20th. AKA, it's 420, man. I didn't actually look this up, but I don't know how 420 got associated with marijuana smoke. I think it had to do with a bill back in the day or some protests or something. Do you know what that story is?
I don't. I wish that you would have said something earlier because we could look it up.
Well, I'll read through some of these real quick if you want to pull that up.
Sure.
I'm going to go through some of the most notable moments in history that occurred on 420, and it's uncanny that and I know you know what one of them is, but it's uncanny what some of these things are. This year in 1889, a very special man celebrated his birthday, Mr. Adolf Hitler. 1889, 420.
I will not sing happy birthday.
1841, the first detective story was published, Edgar Allan Poe's Murder at the Rue Morgue. In 1871, Congress passes the Ku Klux Act, allowing President Grant to use military force against the Klan. 1902, Marie and Pierre Curie. Let's see, Tach, do you know who that is?
No.
How about just Marie Curie? The name Marie Curie.
How about saying M. Curie? Maybe I'll get it then.
M.
Still
Curie?
don't know.
Well, I cut out the husband's name because she's a scientist.
Mercury?
She isolated the radium.
Yeah. Didn't she also die from that too?
Yes, she did. Yeah. She died later from...
was it on 420?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where her death was. That's when they discovered radium and how radioactive materials can exist. In 1912, Bram Stoker, author of Dracula, dies on this day. 1914, militias employed by Standard Oil and the Rockefeller family opened fire on striking coal miners in Ludlow, Colorado, killing dozens of men, women, and children in what would become known as the Ludlow Massacre.
It's crazy.
1926, Warner Brothers and Western Electric release Vitaphone, the first viable technology for sound and film. Without that invention, Tach, you and I wouldn't be doing this shit right now.
You are correct, sir.
And that was Warner Brothers. Did you find the thing on pot?
It's the code for police, isn't it?
No.
420?
Yeah.
No.
That's where it started.
That's what everybody says, but it's wrong. I just got done reading a whole thing about it saying some people think it's a police code, but that's absolutely not even close.
It's not a 420?
187 on a motherfucking
cop. I'm still looking. You continue.
All right. 1945, Allied forces launch Operation Corn Cob. Airstrikes meant to cut off lines of retreat for German forces as Hitler celebrates his birthday. So he's distracted with his birthday celebration. What's up, Ollie? That's the studio mascot chiming in. 1961, This happened from the FCC, Tach. What do you think happened in 1961? Something was approved by the FCC.
They were allowed to have something to do with 420?
Yeah, well, it was done on this. This was
this
approved
is the day,
on 420.
They allowed the word damn? What year?
That's pretty good. 1961.
Oh.
Before even that.
I don't know then.
FM modulation, or FM, stereo broadcasting, is approved.
Oh.
Prior to that, you couldn't broadcast. Close. It was AM. All AM. 1985. Let's see if you... I think Andrea already knows this one, but I won't. Let's see if you can guess this. Western pop musicians release cassette to the People's Republic of China. Which band? 1985. It's a group. I'll give you that.
1985 release what?
A cassette tape to the People's Republic of China. So this is the first ever Western pop culture band that made its way and made its foot into China, into the People's Republic of China.
Oh,
that was a big deal at the time.
Gotcha. 1980 Spandau Ballet. I don't know.
Wham.
Damn. Damn, I should have known that.
No, not damn. Wham.
Yeah, that's right. George Michael and the other guy.
This is a somber one. 1999. Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris killed 13 students and faculty members at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. And then they turned their guns on themselves. We all know that Columbine tragedy. 2008. Danica Patrick becomes the first woman to win an IndyCar race at the Japan 300. And she's pretty good looking, so that doesn't hurt. And 2010, the Deepwater Horizon explodes, killing 11 crew members and triggering the largest offshore oil spill in American history. All of that happened on April 20th.
I didn't know all of those things were on the same day. It's a weird day.
Different years, though. Just saying.
We better not go to work tomorrow. Something weird could happen.
I like that thinking.
I'm off tomorrow.
Let's all go to the beach or something. But then a tidal wave might come get us.
Something crazy will happen.
Okay, so I think I may have found the origin of 420.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people have said, like she had said, that people used to think it was a police signal or something like that, which it's not.
Well, the origin is like Jesus Christ. He began the calendar system, right? That's where January, February, March, April, May.
If you really want to go way back.
That's the origin.
Why we pick April 20th?
Just kidding.
There once was a baby Jesus that was born. So this is what Wikipedia says. Okay. It says, a group of people in San Rafael, California, calling themselves the Waldos because their chosen hangout spot was a wall outside the school. Used the term in connection with a fall 1971 plan to search out for an abandoned cannabis crop that they had learned about. The Waldos designated the Louis Pasteur statue on the grounds of San Rafael High School as their meeting place, and 4:20 p.m. as their meeting time. The Waldos referred to this plan with the phrase 420 Louis. Several failed attempts to find the crop eventually shortened the phrase to simply 420, which ultimately evolved into a code word that the teens used to mean marijuana smoking in general. Mike Edison says that Stephen Hager,
probably. This, by the way, this segment is brought to you by Sublime, because everything you're saying there has to do with references in Sublime's music. The Louis dog, his dog. Louis.
Louis. Yeah. That's where Louis came from?
I don't know, but
I'm just wondering where Waldo is.
Mike Edison says that Stephen Hager of High Times, the magazine, was responsible for taking the story about the Waldos to mind-boggling cult-like extremes and suppressing all other stories about the origin of the term.
By the way, you need to listen to a podcast called Get Dug with High.
Oh, I've seen the show. It's also a web show, too.
Oh, really?
They just take the audio from the web show and put it out as a podcast.
That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen it several times. Yeah.
Maybe I heard about it on one of your episodes of Taint Funny, because I heard it somewhere in another podcast I was listening to.
It's Doug Benson. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Stone, like 24/7.
So tomorrow, we're recording on Tuesday, which is the 19th, but tomorrow is 420. And then obviously we release on 421.
Right.
I release every day.
What day of the week is that?
What day of the week is it?
What day?
You forgot your line.
Your only line. By the way, we're referencing if you go to facebook.com/livingpodcariously, you'll see we're starting to do live streams of like just little short clips of videos from in studio. And the only line really that Andrea needed tonight was to remember Thursday, and she did it. She did it well.
Thursday.
Oh goodness! All right, so jumping off the 420 train, let's jump on going from pot going to porn, right? I mean, that only kind of makes sense.
Porn.
Yeah.
Right. So I've talked about this several times, Tach. You know, the virtual reality headsets that are coming out. We're finally in our lifetimes coming out with VR headsets and gear that is good. If you remember when we were maybe 12, 13, 14, they started going down the VR route, but the graphics just were not as advanced as they needed to be, so it was really shitty. And the motion sensors, they were not using accelerometers like they are now, so you know, the ability to sense motion in hands and in the headset and all that stuff is just impossible. Now, the accelerometer technology, plus the upgraded graphics, plus the processing capabilities are just phenomenally better.
Indeed.
So we're getting into VR now.
Yeah.
Well, there is a hotel chain. I'm not going to plug the hotel chain, but there's a hotel chain in Vegas that is offering an amenity in your room now.
What is this?
Is it the one I'm going to?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Is it is the Fix-A-Flat deal? Because you said there was Nevada
it's a one-day turnaround.
That's the other amenity.
Okay.
You can choose which one you want.
I gotcha.
You can have pay-per-view, fully interactive virtual reality porn in your room. Now, thinking about porn and the interactive ability with porn with the VR headset is kind of cool. I got it. I got that.
Yeah.
But the scene that you're seeing in your goggles represents your room. So
I gotcha.
How your room is laid out,
I gotcha.
They build the VR around that. So
That's
what you're seeing, there's really a bed where the bed is supposed to be. There's really a door where the door. There's not really tits where the tits are supposed to be in the VR, but use your imagination in that.
Right.
But yes.
Well, okay. So this anemone, what is it?
Enema?
Enema? No. This
sea anemone?
No. What's it called when you get the service for the hotel? It's a hotel anemone.
Oh, amenity.
Amenity. Anyway, so this this amenity.
Goddamn, Tach.
Amenity.
That's a difficult word for you, isn't it?
This amenity.
It's amenity.
So I'm just trying to picture.
You think I'm funny?
I'm just trying to picture this. So let's say you're staying in this hotel. You know, this is Nevada, I'm guessing Las Vegas. You're hitting the bars, you're hitting the casinos, whatever, had a few drinks, get back to the hotel. Now you're at the hotel alone and drunk. And so you're going to call down to the desk and be, hey, can you send up the VR porn? Like, how embarrassing is that? And somebody comes up like, for you, sir, and then like, let me show you how to do it.
Are you imagining a butler from like Batman? He comes up.
I believe you ordered
Isn't prostitution legal in Nevada?
Prostitution is legal. Well, not in the city limits, but outside
so
the
they
city
get
limits.
the virtual things and the prostitution.
They get everything. Lucky.
Lucky.
What do they need both? Do you do them both at the same time, and then you're having an orgy?
What if you? Wait a minute.
What?
Holy shit. I just thought of something.
What?
So prostitutes are supposed to be good looking. But with a VR headset, you can have some... You could have some...
Sound like your personal vendetta. Yeah, supposed to be.
You could have some snaggletooth bitch giving you a blowjob, but in your VR headset, she's, fucking
So this could be a moneymaker for the prostitutes.
This is great. Oh, see?
Your hooker, sir. I believe you ordered her.
That's a good voice. You need to keep that one. You need to keep that one. That's a good one.
I've used it many times.
Okay, good. That's a good voice.
Hire you.
Oh, hey. I'd hire what you're selling.
I don't know. It just seems like a very... I don't know. It just seems you're already drunk. It's late at night, 3 or 4 in the morning.
Why do you got to be drunk? You need alcohol to get to that point. I need to be sober, stone sober, have a glass of water.
I'm just picturing the lonely guy that's sitting in a hotel in like Vegas.
Or would it be worse if his wife is on the other bed and he's like, "No, honey, I've got the VR headset."
That's
tonight.
what I'm thinking. If you take me to Vegas, I'm like, should I be concerned when you put these glasses on?
It's just scenery, honey. It's just nature. And meanwhile, Adam's honking. What are you doing? I'm honking horns on my motorcycles. They have horns on motorcycles. This one does.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I want to try that. I'm just saying, I want to try. I haven't even done VR yet. I want to get a VR headset to try.
You haven't done with like the cell phone ones and all that?
No, I haven't seen one cell phone one yet. I'm going to go buy another
buddy
phone.
One has it.
I'm going to go buy a phone actually from AT&T and upgrade mine. Yeah, this is a Samsung Galaxy S4. The S7's out. I'm like way behind. This works great, but
you need to get a new phone. But
yeah,
it'll work with any phone. So
okay.
But yeah,
you can get porn on any phone.
Speaking of porn, I have a little story.
Oh.
Well, no, not a story, but a topic. You know?
Oh, okay.
I read this the other day. Tell me if you heard this, but there is a college fund out there that is run by a popular porn site.
Bang Bros?
No.
Ooh, hang on. Let me keep guessing because I know a lot of it. X Hamster. Is it a site or a company?
I don't know. It's a site, I think.
X Hamster. Xvids.
You're impressing me right now.
UJizz. YouPorn.
So impressed. Keep going. Keep it going.
You got Tach wheezing. You know that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
It's just funny because he's so excited. No, wait, I got this. And he's like, I'm still turning her on tonight.
Is it warm in here for you?
Someone needs to turn a fan on.
Did I fart?
You're just turning me on with those names.
How about I just tell you?
Okay.
Where you dig yourself deeper in a hole. It's Pornhub.
Pornhub. That was the next. Didn't I say Pornhub? I didn't say Pornhub.
No. But Pornhub is actually doing a college fund right now. Like they'll actually they want to put somebody through college. Like they're saying, like,
is college the name of a big dick guy that they've got? We want to put you through college. Hey, I'm college.
No, it has nothing to do with like they're saying that you don't have to get naked because you have to do a video and I think an essay.
But they're like porn.
They're like, we don't want a porn video. We want like a no shit.
Who are they trying to appeal to? I guess college students. That's the demographic they're trying to appeal to.
So they can get them into porn later.
I don't know. It's not just for girls or anything, but yeah, it's shit.
Oh, I got a story on porn too when you're done.
College.
The topic that never ends.
You know how hard this is to search?
It's
when you have words
so
like
hard. College
and porn and the same thing.
Don't think about how hard it is to search. Think about how hard this is going to be to edit.
Oh, it's just great when it's hard anyway. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong at all.
Let's talk about hard-ons.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Pornhub offers $25,000 college scholarship. Okay, Pornhub, one of the world's most viewed pornography sites, is offering a $25,000 scholarship fund as part of its Pornhub Cares program. We're always looking for different ways we can give back, and we thought helping someone to go to college would be a great way. Pornhub Vice President Corey Price told this paper. We want to make it easier for one person who shares the same mission of spreading happiness.
Missionary.
Aww.
To qualify, applicants must submit a homemade video that answers the question.
We call those amateur Tach.
How do you strive to make others happy? There must also
it needs to have an ending. A happy ending.
They must also submit official transcripts to prove they are maintaining a grade point average at least 3.2.
You know how you do that, right? You hold up your driver's license to make sure you're over 18. That's what they do in the porns anyway.
The website operators say they will only accept serious applicants only. This is not about you making a homemade porn and winning a scholarship.
Yeah, right.
Noting that sexually explicit videos will not be taken seriously. The website says that it receives nearly 75 billion views a year.
So you want to hear the
79 billion views a year.
We get almost that on Living Podcariously.
It's close.
The caveat to that at the very end is like the disclaimer. However, if you do submit us porns, they are legally ours. You cannot sue us for airing them. We are going to use them and use them a lot. Please, all college girls, send in your stuff now. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So on that same topic, by the way, on porn, keeping the topic of porn going, Tach.
Keep porn alive.
One of those sites that I talked about a minute ago, X Hamster.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to that? Yeah. Okay. You visited X Hamster. Yeah. X Hamster has blocked all use of its services, so porn streaming, to one state in our great 50 states.
Oklahoma.
What? Oh, wait. So you're saying 49 states can go to the site except one?
Yep. One state cannot go to xhamster.com.
Well, I know it's not Florida. Just saying.
By the way, we don't endorse xhamster. This is just a story.
No, I'm just kidding.
I kind of do too. I do at least once a week.
Should I just guess, or is something that you think I should know?
You should know. It's been in the news in the last 4 or 5 days.
Well, I haven't really watched. I've been at work. So.
Had to do with a vote and a law that was passed in this state. North Carolina, my home state. That's where I was born. North Cackalack.
So they're not into hamsters anymore.
No. They can't. I'll show you xhamster. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good site.
You know all about it.
Xhamster is blocking all traffic to any North Carolina-based IP. Now you can still VPN, get away around it. Right. But if you're a North Carolina citizen, you no longer can go and view porn from this site. Now, what happened there had nothing to do specifically with porn. However, what happened was a law that got snuck in and passed. God damn, Oliver's licking my toes. Sorry. I don't like talking about porn when dog's licking between my toes. I don't know what it is.
You're turning him on. You said ex-hamster. He's into hamsters.
There was a law that was snuck under the rug, no pun intended, in North Carolina regarding the ability for transgenders to use their their self-identified bathrooms. So if you're male, you're born male, and you identify as female, every other state in the fucking country lets you go in whatever bathroom you identify yourself as. So you're a female, you go to the female bathroom.
Yeah, okay, I did hear about this law.
North Carolina passed a law that said, as any citizen, you go to the bathroom, ridiculous fucking law, you're only allowed in the bathroom based on the sex that was on your birth certificate.
Yeah.
Nothing
So you
else.
got to bring your birth certificate with you everywhere you go?
I guess so, to the
even
bathroom.
if you had a sex change completely, went all the way.
That is correct.
You got to have your birth certificate on you.
Transgender can no longer, those citizens
I heard about this.
cannot use the bathrooms they identify with.
So they should not live in North Carolina.
That's kind of the point here. Wait a minute, that's giving North Carolina lawmakers what they want. That the prejudice
they're
that they're
losing the money, state will go down.
So not do that.
North Carolina.
I heard that who was it that some major singer canceled the show?
That's another thing that's happening. REM, I think, canceled.
Bruce Springsteen, I think, was one of the names.
I don't. It's not. It's going to take too damn long to find it. But yes, big performers are starting to pull out of that state because of the intolerance that they're starting to show. You know, the bad part about this is North Carolina is never on this kind of radar. North Carolina never has this kind of attention. South Carolina has for years because of the Confederate flag. But North Carolina has never been on the politically stepped in a pile of dog shit kind of radar. They've always been under the fucking radar. They've always been, cool North Carolina.
Who's running that state up there?
I don't know. I should probably know,
Some
but I have no idea.
old fucking man.
Strom Thurmond was South Carolina. You know who Strom Thurmond is?
I've heard the name.
He was the oldest man in Congress or oldest man in the Senate or something like that. He held the office for so long.
He must be his little brother around the north side.
He was still 96 years old casting law. I mean, yeah, ridiculous. All right, that brings us to another break. So
all right,
let's take a break and come back, and we will do this week's segment of Living Podcariously's Diary. Oh, yeah. Peering into the inner thoughts and expressions of men. Women submit questions for Adam and Tach to get brutal, honest admissions. We call this the Diary. Diary? Really? Is that the best we could come up with?
All right, boys, since I'm here, I'm taking over. You guys are going to answer all the questions that I have to ask you. Are you ready?
Wait, hold on. I got to mark something down as a...
No, put that down now.
Do you know what I was doing?
By the way,
you will answer my questions.
By the way, listeners, send your emails into show@livingpodcariously.com for your questions to enter into the diary. We ask them all. Every question that gets submitted, we ask.
All right, guys, are you ready?
Yeah, shoot.
Yep, shoot. Go ahead.
All right. This first question is from Ashley. She wants to know, what do you think of the selfies girls post on social media?
What do we think about them?
Go ahead, Tach. You take it first.
Did Ashley submit her specifically?
Tach just wants boobs.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean,
she
yes,
said to go to the hamster gerbil.
xgerbil.com. That's all gay porn. I'm just kidding.
Okay, what do we think of selfies?
Selfies. All the selfies the girls do on social media. All the pictures that they spend all the time doing 100 pictures a day.
Well, I mean, all my profile pictures on Facebook stuff most of them are me doing selfies because, I live alone and so I have nobody else take pictures of me. So
there's a difference though. A selfie is a picture taken specifically for the reason of a selfie. I mean, it's obvious that you're taking a picture of yourself in front of, I don't know, a scenery. That's not really a selfie, even though it is by definition.
No, I do selfies.
Selfies are in the bathroom.
But this is asking what the selfies of the girls.
I know.
Yeah, I guess
when
that's
you
a good
see
point.
their pictures.
I mean,
and
I just see them. I don't see them specifically as, well, that's a selfie. So I have a different thought of other than if somebody else took it.
The ones that when they're like,
I have
with their duck lips.
Yeah, thank you. You got to draw the picture for the listener.
I didn't know that. I do notice that most of them like to show a little bit of cleavage in it. And this one girl, this one friend of mine. Hey, girl. This one friend of mine. She claims that like she's not showing her tits off in every picture, but I'm like thumbing through her pictures on Facebook, going, "Look at this. Tell me this was accidental." Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, no, she spent like half an hour.
And then go to the next one. Really?
Girls know what they're doing.
And then the next one.
No question.
Here's another one. Oh, here's another one.
I'm too critical on selfie pictures, though, because what I'll do is I'll look for the wrong in the picture. One of these things does not belong with the others.
Right.
Like if a girl's doing a selfie picture in a bathroom, I'm looking to see if the toilet lid's up or down. I'm looking to see if a turd is in there. I'm looking to see if she's got shit in her trash can.
Girls
I having a buddy of mine. He had a selfie they took in the picture one time, and there was fucking piss in the toilet, and he didn't even realize it. And we were all just like, "Oh my god!" Dude. And he was like, and everybody starts commenting. He eventually took a picture down, but
I would have left it up. That's a great picture. I like them. I like them. It does reveal a little bit of vanity about the girl. However, that's kind of a nice thing sometimes. If a girl has appreciation for the way she looks, that means she thinks she takes care of herself.
She's got the goods,
so,
right?
I like seeing selfie pictures. I
don't
seeing
mind them.
The sexier the better, of course, but I like them.
I don't mind them.
But isn't there a song about if you care that much about the way you look, you should go and
I want to take a selfie.
Love yourself.
You should go and fuck yourself. Yes, that's who sang that song?
I have no idea.
I'm not going to pick it up to play it. I don't know. Too much research. All right, next question. Good first question. You should, right. By the way, Andrea, you should also be answering some of these too from a female's perspective into the show.
I was saying that girls spend a ton of time on those selfies, and they try to get the best one and ask their friends and everything before they actually post it, if they're around their friends.
Girls that take selfies, more body parts showing.
I know the queen of selfies herself. She probably does 1 million a day.
Yeah, I know who that is too. You work with her, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I know who this is.
The lovely Kiana.
You're going to say her name? You're going to call her out?
I'm so going to call her out. She's proud of it.
All right.
She's good at it, though. She looks fabulous in everyone. So props to you, Kiana, for being the queen of selfies. All right, next, let's see. We've got Carol from Georgia.
Uh-oh.
She wants to know, what are some of the deal breakers when talking to a girls you're interested in?
When talking to girls you're interested in.
Talking to girls. What are some of the deal breakers when talking to girls you're interested in?
Number 1, if she poops. Number 2, if she poops. No, I'm kidding.
Number 3, she can't poop.
She can't poop.
No. Her stomach's going to be huge.
The deal breakers.
I got some already.
Intolerance for my kid or my children or whatever. If you have to take me for everything that I have and
I'm a package deal.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a person that doesn't like kids, I don't care if you're the perfect woman in the world, you're gone. You're out of here. You have to be tolerant and accepting and supportive and, desiring to be in that lifestyle if you're going to be with me.
Good answer. I believe we touched on my response earlier.
We touched your what?
His response.
No, I'm sorry. She touched. You were out of the room. No.
I touched everyone's response.
Yeah.
Sense of humor. You gotta have a fucking sense of humor.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, like I even said to the one girl, the original girl that said to me, I even told her later, she's so funny. She was so awesome. I was like, you had me at Black Child. I was like,
You know, though, that girl that you turned that whole thing back around on, and you were the one who told her the same joke with amplified it up a little bit.
Yeah.
She's now sitting on some podcast somewhere going, you won't believe what this guy from this website did, you know. She's telling your story just the other side of it right now.
Other people are going, that's awesome. He's got a sense of humor. That's fucking cool. It's a little racist, whatever, but it was funny. And she'd be like, I don't know, whatever. I'm prude. So, I don't know. But yeah, sense of humor is like number one.
So if they don't have a sense of humor, that's a deal breaker for you.
Yeah.
If they don't like kids, that's a deal breaker for me.
Well, yeah, they can't not. I mean,
if they
like, well, if she don't like kids, I don't give a fuck. But she better be funny.
If they don't inject Fix-A-Flat in their ass, it's a deal breaker for me. I need a little bit of Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know when you're driving down the road and need a spare tire.
Hey, baby, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take her ass
Guess
off.
it's over.
Well, it's probably already fallen off. So
yeah, good point.
Hey, pick up your ass.
I don't need any extra. I'm good. All right. This one is anonymous. And it says, how hard do you stalk girls' social media pages?
Stalk their page? I really don't that much. Like if there's a girl I'm interested in or may possibly be interested in, I'll go look at her page first thing. Well, if I don't know if she's single or not, I'll look at that first. And then if maybe she could be like international or somewhere on the other part of the country, I'll look and see where she lives first. And then maybe thumb through a few pictures, and that's really about it. I don't like spend too much time on that.
I am reverse
It
order.
depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking about like that? Or are we talking about some chick
somebody that you're interested in? I think
seeing.
Or even your exes or anything.
Oh, no,
exes are completely different. No,
you don't look at your ex's pages at all?
Okay,
Absolutely
back up. I did recently at an ex. Normally, I don't ever do that. But I did very recently, just because I'm curious on what's going on in her life. I wasn't creepy about it. I know that she had a baby recently, so I saw her. Well, what started?
You're looking at this picture. I wonder what that vagina is like now. Is it all
destroyed,
or did it bounce back into shape pretty well? That's what you're thinking.
What started is that she's still friends with my daughter, and then my daughter posted something that I know immediately my ex would have liked, and I saw that she had 2 likes on it. I was like, let me guess, my ex is probably one of the likes. I was like, sure enough, she is. I was like, I don't know what she's doing. Click.
Uh-oh.
You know. And so, of course, her profile picture is her and the new baby. You know, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know. And then I just kind of thumbed through a couple of pictures, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Because, you know.
I'm sure that's more of what the question is asking, is if you look at your ex-girlfriends.
Other than that one time, no.
To me, it's completely different.
Never.
So a girl that I'm interested in, I immediately write to photos. When my mother first told me about you, I found your page, clicked your photos immediately, and said, wow, look at those eyes. And I know that sounds fucking cheesy, but you have very pronounced eyes. They're very big.
I'm a sucker for eyes, too, especially big, like, doe eyes.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I'm a sucker.
So that was... No, that's creepy. Don't look at me like that.
Oh, my God.
That's a little... Zach, you want to spend the night tonight? I need some company.
I know. That was more like I'm going to keep you in a box.
No, really, that was our way to invite you into our bed, Tech. That's what that was.
Yeah, totally.
I know you'll be here to support me. That's what you need to say.
I need to hold you up. Can I push you in a little bit?
I'm middle spoon. Just saying. No, there is a huge difference. So if it's a girl that I'm interested in, I wouldn't say stalk, but I would go there and find what I can find out. So I wouldn't go back to it after I've seen the pictures the first time or seen the profile the first time.
You went back to it every day for that week, didn't you?
What, yours?
Yep.
No.
Every single day.
I had already downloaded your picture, so it didn't really matter.
I have done that before in a girl have started talking to him interested. And the only reason why I would save a couple pictures just because it's faster to go, hey, check out this chick I'm talking to.
Exactly.
Versus, hold on, let me look up her Facebook profile picture and then have to find the good one. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Exactly. Girls that I'm interested in, I would go, and there's a very specific order to things. First things first, when you hit their Facebook page or their social media page, photos. I want to see photos. And I'm going to look through every album. I'm going to look at the guys that you're with on the album. I'm going to look at...
Holy shit.
I'm looking for...
I'm going to come up with stories.
You're different. I mean,
I'm going to come up with stories and who these guys are.
I'm looking for bikini.
Out.
I'm looking for those bikini pictures. I'm looking for the vacation pictures of the beach.
You see the album titled Beach, you're like,
immediately click it, yes.
And then it's like, child, shit, child.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the father, child, fuck. And then selfie of your face only. I'm like, son of a bitch.
And then after I'm done looking at the pictures, I'll go to relationship status. I'll look at the relationship status and be like, oh, okay, it's either blocked completely. Yeah, yours was in a bad situation when I first met you. She still had hers in a relationship with her ex-boyfriend. Wow. And her ex-boyfriend had a relationship status of in a relationship with her. So it was...
I think he still does.
What?
Probably. No, actually, when you unrelationship somebody, all that theirs can say is in relationship. It can't say with you. When you make that disconnect, it disconnects it. And then the third one is just their about. So I go to see if they shared any likes that they're interested in. And of course, I look to see if they've liked Living Podcariously. If they haven't liked Living Podcariously, maybe that's
a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker.
Deal breaker, ladies.
But so after that initial, I know it's coming off sounding kind of creepy. But dude, I'm being very honest. If I'm interested in somebody, I want to see what I can learn about them. That's just what I do.
Guess it's a good thing mine was a mystery.
Yours was a mystery wrapped in a riddle.
She's an enigma.
Okay, let's see here. This one is another anonymous. Do you judge girls by their jobs, the money they make?
Only if she's a hooker. No, I'm just kidding.
So by money.
By the jobs and the money they make. Mm-hmm. I am very non-judgmental of anyone. So you could be, however, with one caveat, you have to have a desire to do something. You don't have to be gainfully employed making money, but you cannot, what I do not want to be with is a woman that doesn't have a goal or a aspiration or something that she wants to do with her life. So money is not the important part to me. Even the job title itself or the career field itself is not important. As long as there's some sort of light at the end of her tunnel, and that light ain't me, proverbially.
Right.
That's what.
Like, I want to have a lot of babies and live off welfare and collect food stamps and.
Collecting stamps is fine.
Party.
Food stamps is not. Yeah, no, that's not it. So the career, I try not to judge anyone by their cover. By anything. I just don't like judging people because I myself don't want to be judged.
What if she makes more money than you?
To me, that's perfectly fine. I dated a girl, and you know who I'm talking about. I dated a girl who made just ass loads of money more. And the money doesn't convince me to be more tolerant of things that are intolerable, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to be skeptical
here. I know
here.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Money to me doesn't mean anything other than a means to an end for bills. That's really all that it is. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy a boat.
Sure, rent it.
It can buy a boat, and boats make me happy. So man, I don't know. Maybe. What do you think, Tach?
What was the exact question again?
Do you judge girls by their jobs and the money?
No. I like what he was saying too. That's exactly correct. I don't judge, but she does have to have a plan or a goal or something. Because you can always be in a transitional period, which is totally cool.
No. They don't allow that in North Carolina.
Transitional,
right. Transgender. I didn't know what he said.
That was good.
Now, should the transgender have a job also?
Right into the mic.
What?
Should the transgender have a job also?
Transgenders can do whatever they want. I am not going to be with a transgender, just so you know.
That's okay.
You're getting picky
now. Not to be judgy or picky, but I don't judge.
What if it's a perfect 10 girl? She's just gorgeous, head to toe, perfect. Physical,
flat butt.
Physical appearance, everything's perfect for what you desire. All right? That's a 10 for you. But she tells you, she's like, Tach, I still want to have sex with you. I still want to be in a relationship with you. Eventually we can still have babies, but I want you to understand something. I, in my mind, was born a man.
In your mind?
Yeah.
What if she's not a man?
Or is she physically
a woman?
No, she's born a woman, but in her mind, she's a man, so she associates as a man. She goes and has her social security card updated. She goes and gets all of her stuff changed around, but she's still a perfect 10 woman. What would you do?
I don't understand the question.
So it's a woman.
100% woman.
Her body, physical body is a woman.
Always has been.
Never desires to do any of the sex change operations.
But she's going to act very masculine.
Maybe that's a stereotype.
Not a maybe.
That's
no.
If she believes in her mind she is a man,
that doesn't mean
act masculine.
That means all men are masculine. That's not true. There's a lot of men who are feminine that are not associated themselves with being feminine.
But if you have all of the estrogen in your body...
Fucking lawyered, dude. Damn.
That's also, estrogen isn't what triggers a person to identify differently for estrogen or testosterone.
I'm saying that makes you more womanly, emotional, and
the stereotypes again. That's not the case.
Damn.
if she wants to be, if she feels like
put
she's
some
a
stank
man,
on it too.
then she is going to act more manly.
Tach, she's way cuter than me. Why are you on my side? You need to get back on her side.
I'm just on the right side.
I'm
If she
trying to
was
help
right,
you
I
get
would-
with a woman, not a man.
It's his,
Do you want to be
it's
with his
story.
transgender
No.
person or what?
Well, it's not a transgender.
No, it is. If she identifies herself as a man,
See?
from that point
But
forward,
she, didn't
she can be a
trans
man.
Nothing.
No, transgender doesn't mean
So
that you
she
change
acts
something.
feminine. She looks
Did I
feminine.
just get lawyered?
A little bit.
Apparently, this looks like a woman, acts like a woman, is a woman.
Wait, there's an Aerosmith song to this.
Dude looks like a lady.
like a lady. Dude looks like
I don't. Maybe I don't understand your dream woman or whatever the hell this is.
His dream woman is a man, apparently.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Oh.
Let me just move on.
All right.
All right, next question.
Tach's uncomfortable now.
No, I'm not. I just don't understand the question.
Well, how about what's the worst thing a girl can do on a date? Tell you that she's a man.
Tell you she's a man.
I can answer that for both of you.
The worst thing a woman can do on a date?
Mm-hmm.
How about get really drunk and scream and beat her child?
Oh
No, that was an actual date I went on.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She brought her child on a first date?
Well, okay, hold up. It wasn't that kind of a date. It was like a day.
Did you pick her up on the corner? I mean,
No.
that kind of date.
I really don't want to get in the whole story. How about I save it for next week?
All right, that's fine.
To be continued.
So don't let me forget.
Tach's love life.
Worst
Tune
date
in
story.
next Thursday to hear the story of
Worst
Tach and his
date story.
abusive ex-date.
We need to
Worst
have
first date ever.
We need to have a whole segment with an intro, an outro, music, everything. Tach's love life.
And if you want to hear it, it will be on a Thursday.
All right, well that is it for this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. A special thanks to our new cast member, Miss Andrea Joy. Thank you very much, Andrea.
You are so welcome.
We liked having you in here. We look forward to your musical talents and your perspectives. I don't really know where to go with that, Tach.
Other talents, maybe.
We did get one question submitted by a listener. This guy's name is Aaron. It's a Aaron. He did ask a question. I should ask it during the Guyry segment. He wants to know if our guy listeners can submit questions that girls are going to answer. So now that we have a girl cast member, you can answer those questions for him honestly. And if we have guest girls that are in here, they can join you and answer those questions back. So if we get Aaron, if you're out there, if you do email in questions, Andrea now can answer those from a girl's perspective.
Absolutely.
How big are your boobs? No, I'm just kidding.
Tune in Thursday to find out.
Thursday. Check us out on Facebook.com/livingpodcariously. Listen to us now on Google Play Music Podcasts. Every Android device out there has got Google Play Music already installed on it. All you have to do is click on it, do a search for Living Podcariously, and you'll find us. You can actually subscribe on there. I don't know if you can rate and review yet, Tach, but you can definitely subscribe.
I don't even know. I haven't even really looked.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you're an Apple user, if you've got iTunes, give us a 5-star review.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
More importantly
Subscribe, rate, and review.
More importantly than any of that, what really helps us is if you enjoy this show, tell somebody about it. We're a homegrown podcast. We're not these big dollar podcasts out there. I don't know if you can tell in the production quality. We're not these big dollar podcasts out there trying to market ourselves and buy all these hundreds of thousands of dollars of marketing. We're a little homegrown podcast. What gets us out there is word of mouth. So if you know somebody that would like this, tag them on Facebook and have them look at the page. Share out one of the episodes on your Facebook page. Email some, whatever you want to do, hook it up.
Stalk your ex-girlfriends. Tell them about the show.
Definitely.
While you're on the social media.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you're in need of a good stylist, go check out my girl Andrea up at Brent Allen Salon up in Cocoa. She'll hook you up. What didn't you have a promo that you were giving to listeners?
10% off.
So all they have to do is mention Living Podcariously when they come up to see you?
Absolutely.
You got to tell us the first guest or the first client you get up there that says, I heard about you through Living Podcariously.
I'll tell you what, the first guest that comes up and says that, I'll give him a free haircut.
Holy shit. Tach will be there tomorrow.
Living Podcariously.
You gotta beat
me.
Tach.
Oh, that's what Tach says. You got to beat me.
Just call in. You can even make appointments on our website too.
Sweet. What's the website? Oh, we caught her. We Kim Kennedy'd her. Hang on, I'll help you there.
I think it's .net. I think it's BrentAllenSalon.net.
Are you on Twitter?
At BrentAllenSalon.net.
Are you on Twitter?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Did you make a Twitter account?
Personally, no, I don't think she is.
I don't have an. I'm
Tach,
horrible at
she
social media.
She didn't even do
Facebook
when I first met her.
No.
Oh, you should have a Twitter account.
Oh my
if you're going to
goodness.
be on this podcast regularly, people are going to look for you on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, will you do it for me?
Yeah.
Good. Then I don't have to do it because that's how I get pictures on my Facebook.
Yeah, there it is. You had it right. BrentAllenSalon.net. Yes.
Yay.
Anything else, Tach?
Just be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and check us out. And also don't forget about our other show,
Yep.
Twisted 10.
Yeah, if you like this format, check out the Twisted 10. Same places you find this show, you can find that one. It's a little bit different than this. It's not quite as rough or raw around the edges. That one is a very polished show, and it deals with a different, unique, host-created top 10 list each week. And they're not like 10 through 1 like David Letterman style. These are in-depth, really detailed reviewed, and they're our own creations. They're not, copied from BuzzFeed or copied from whatever website out there that does top 10 lists. These are our own unique lists. And Andrea joins us on the very next episode of that as well. So you can check out her top 10 list that she's got.
All right. Well, that concludes this week's episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Well, thanks for checking us out. And once again, I'm Tach.
I am Adam.
And I'm Andrea.
See ya. Hey guys, this is Tach from Living Podcariously. You can also check out other content I have. I also co-host a podcast called Taint Funny on iTunes and Stitcher. It's me and three of my buddies. We talk about movies, television, video games, comic books, you name it. It's a comedy podcast called Taint Funny, and you can check us out at taintfunnypodcast.com.